All right, it's September 2023, and let's be honest, a lot of businesses are struggling right now. If that sounds like you, it's okay. You're in the right place, and I am here to help. I've spent the last decade studying marketing excessively and running my own marketing agency so that I can now take things to the next level, build this channel, and share everything I've learned and everything I'm learning at this very moment with you. The ultimate goal here is to create an open discussion on not only marketing and business, but also personal growth topics so that we can lay the foundation for our collective future success. I believe that we can all succeed when we come together, build a community, and grow from each other, which so much of that is missing in the world nowadays, and we're going to bring it back right here. So, with that being said, let's dive right in and get into why businesses are failing at marketing in September 2023. So, the main problem I'm seeing right now is that businesses simply don't know who the key customers are who are driving their business. One of the reasons for this is that nowadays there's so many different marketing channels, there's so many social media platforms, there's all these different ways to get your name out there and interact with customers that businesses start just throwing things out there and hoping something sticks to the point where they're now trying to just market to everyone instead of going after the key people who actually move their business forward. An example of this would be just looking at a company's marketing on social media or really any other marketing channel and just looking at it and asking yourself these two questions. So the first one is, who is this piece of content or marketing material for? So who is the specific person that this is for? And by specific, I mean very specific. Like, you should be able to look at something and be like, oh, this is for 50-year-old men who play guitar. And if you can't tell that, that's not really a good sign. The second question to ask after that is, what action does this piece of marketing material inspire that specific customer to take? So you should clearly be able to tell, this is who it's for and this is what it inspires them to do. If you can't, that's a tough thing, because not only will you have a really tough time measuring the results of that piece of marketing material or content, you'll also have a really tough time actually reaching the right people with that. The most common response I get to this is, but Nick, my products are for everyone and my services really do help all kinds of people. And while that may be true, marketing to everyone is not the right approach. The main reason for this is that A, unless you're a giant corporation, you don't have the resources to market to everyone effectively. And B, when you try to reach everyone, you eventually reach no one. The best analogy I've heard about this is one about a doctor. So say you have a heart condition and you want to go to the doctor and you're going to get a surgery. So your choices are to go to a doctor who specializes in everything. They just do a little bit of all different kinds of things, and they're a jack of all trades type of doctor with no specific specialization, or to go to a doctor who's a trained heart specialist who only works with the heart, only studies the heart, only takes on patients who have heart issues. Which doctor are you going to choose? I think the answer is extremely obvious, and also which doctor is going to charge more. And it's always the specialist. With marketing, it's the same thing. You want to be the specialist and you want to go after a specific niche. The reason for this is that oftentimes, if not always, 20% of your customers are truly the ones driving 80% or more of your results. I'm sure you've heard of the 80-20 rule, and it is so true and applies to not only this business situation, but also a million other areas in your business. Once you know that there's 20% of your customers who drive 80% or more of your results, the key is to find out who those customers are, of course. So The best way to do this would be to look through your orders and your sales from the last, 3, 6 months, however, really the more data you can look through, the better, and figure out go through and look at the key orders and figure out who is making these key orders, who are the key customers, and what do you know about them. So try to put them into groups and really build out a persona around each of these key customers. And when you do that, you'll start to see that person come to life in a new way. That brings us to my challenge for you this month, which is to go through and really dig into your previous orders, dig into who your customers are until you can come up with 1 to 3 very concise, very well laid out personas of your customers. So this should include their name, their age, their hobbies, their interests, their buying behavior, their income, all different things that make them unique. And you can include whatever other things pertain to your business and other things that would help you get to know them in a way that enables you to better market to them. As you're going through everything, if you're having trouble narrowing it down to just 1 to 3 key personas, like you've got a ton of different customers who all seem very valuable to you, I would encourage you to keep narrowing it down and only keeping the key personas until you get to that 1 to 3. Because the more you have, the more it's going to make your marketing confusing, the more it's going to make your marketing efforts frustrating, and the more you can narrow it down, the better. Going beyond the 80/20 rule is the 464 rule. So it's a little lesser known, but it's the same idea in that there's 4% of your customers who drive 64% of your results in this case. And I think that's really what you're going for with these personas, is to find out if there's 4% of my customers who are the absolutely most valuable, how much of the revenue do they really drive? It might be 64% or even higher. So getting to know those personas is the goal here. Once you know this info, it should cause a major shift in how you view your marketing, because now you can go from targeting who might buy your product and services to really diving in and targeting who does buy your product and services and who you know is your most valuable customer. And by most valuable, I truly mean your absolute key customers. So another way to look at this is who would put your business out of business if they switch to a competitor? Who are the customers that are so important that you truly couldn't live without them? And those are the people that you want to be going after, because if you do effectively expand that group of really important customers, this will have a massively outsized impact on your revenue and profitability, and also make your marketing a whole lot simpler. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, because you're making things simpler and you're also making them a lot more effective. And that's why this is such a powerful tactic to use. Once you've got these personas built out, and I'm including a template for these in the description. So go use that if you want a good example of how to build these out. But anyways, once you have your personas built out, you can now go back to your marketing and say those same 2 questions. Say, who is this piece of marketing for? Very specific. Remember, you want to be able to know exactly who it's for, not who it could be for. And then what action does it inspire them to take? And you want to be able to answer these questions on everything you're posting, on all of your marketing materials that are going out. And doing this will give you a lot more clarity and will put you a lot more in line with what you actually want people to be doing. What you'll likely find is that there's going to be some disconnect, and that's okay. It's not always going to be spot on right away. This is something that you have to work at and something that you get really good at over time. If it's not fully clear right away, that's fine, as long as you're focusing on getting better, understanding your customers better, and iterating over time. Because like everything, business is one continuous process, and there's no final end solution to everything. It's always a process of getting better and improving over the long run. One last point here is that now that you have this new information on how to really focus in on your niche and you have these personas and you're understanding your customers better, at least the ones that are most valuable to your business, it will likely have an impact on your marketing plan and your campaigns that you're already running. You may have to go back and rebuild out some of that stuff. And if you do, that's a good thing because it means you're improving on it, it's getting better, and ultimately that's going to lead you to a lot of growth in the long run. But with that being said, we're going to cover marketing plans, we're going to cover campaigns, and a whole lot of other stuff in upcoming videos. So I'm not going to go into any of that right here. As always, if you need any help with this stuff along the way, go to flownexus.co to work with me one-on-one if you'd like to hire me to come work with your business, or leave a comment here with what you need help with or other topics you'd like to hear me speak on in the future videos, and I will make sure that they get addressed. As always, I wish you all the love, success, and happiness in the world. Thank you for subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you real soon in the next video.